One of the things I think a lot of people need to understand is we aren't a museum piece. The Inupiaq people are a living people and a living culture. Even though we're in northern Alaska, which covers this vast area from Nome all the way over the Canadian border, is that there's this extreme value of interconnectedness and interdependence.
It's a hunting society, a gathering society from thousands of years.
This is what creates our culture.
That special relationship between humans and the natural world and the animals, and that it teaches you how to have a society that doesn't do too much harm to the world.
Love and respect for nature, for one another, for our elders. Very, very fundamental value, key to life.
Our values are something that bind us all. The importance of sharing with one another, the importance of spirituality, and the connection to the land, our traditions, how we hunt, sharing of stories and songs and dances.
I'm Inupiaq. I'm from the Arctic Ocean.
I am Inupiaq.
It's very important to me. It's who I am as a person.
And we're very proud of who we are, and we want to continue that.
It'd be busy, busy, busy all through the day. You get up and you just go right to work, right to work.
There was always something to do. There's never any idle time. The only idle time we had was after we eat and before we go to bed.
One of the older people would be relaxing, laying down there and saying, it'd be really nice to hear a story. And then just organically, someone would just start telling a story.
Storytelling for the Inupiaq people is very important because it not only created that sense of community, but is a way to pass on wisdom to the next generation.
It was like TV, It was just like, it was as good as any movie you've ever seen. And the storyteller told it so clearly that it was just as powerful as any of the greatest movie blockbusters you've ever seen.
There was a reason behind the stories that we were told because they held traditional knowledge. They held things that we might need to know in life, whether it was about how to find food or how to survive, or it was about well-being and the importance of connecting with people and being a good member of the community.
We all do stories. We all live in stories. We all tell stories to our friends. And they need to be told. They need to be heard.
Unip kako te aksit pen. Dala kanirakan nasuk unip kak tuak kawi rakama. Nibe akse akarwalugo inyuni akaniksok angayukaga menye. Sumitema. Nibe akse akarwalugo amuni alatuneksak. Asi surakal lablune supayanik. Inyune ako ting, ano kao tigais? Ano hulinga ilaksok? Ano hulinga ilak pasyone? Kisay ma, panirine alak sibut. Ibeak siya karolog, kisay ma isumektok. Tapurasi, Kangitsaquaqsiga summan anuqlisuuruqumagaan. Summan anuqlingaaliaqimagaan. Tapraasi kangitsaquaqsiga summan anuqlisuuruqumagaan. Anuqliqpaillugi suniiraqanaitsoqunni. Tavrani peaqsiaqarualuk ayuungitsoq. Payyagniuliqsoq. Tuqutaawayaqtuq kisimriumi. Qaraannapqangapiaqtuq.
So scrimshaw is this really beautiful method of art that's done either on baleen or ivory, and traditionally it was used to tell stories.
Each etching is telling a story of some event. Caribou hunting was taking place. This is what was going on. War began around this time, and so it sort of gives you a timeline of history through etching.
An elder or the person who carved it would literally be able to read the scrimshaw story.
They're like reading a book, in a way.
A lot of the storytelling traditions would be things that after the storytelling was done, we'd just rely on the next person telling it. And so scrimshaw is a very important way for Alaskan Native people to record their history.
When I was growing up, my grandpa had a pet white fox. If you're a good friend with a fox, when there's danger abound, they try to keep you from getting into trouble. They pull tricks here and there, and foxes are like spoiled little kids in a way. When you let her out, she'd go prancing out in the snow, jumping in the air. I know she was happy then. Come running at me and jump on my chest, knock me backwards, lick my face, and I try not to let it. So that was my memory of my grandpa's pet fox.
Caribou was, it provided for us in many ways.
Our clothing in those days was made of all caribou skin.
I grew up wearing caribou pants, mittens, caribou skin mattress, blankets.
Some people had boots that were made with wolf leggings, sealskin sole bottoms. Baleen was shaved to make insoles. They kept us quite dry and warm as well. But the caribou skin clothing was the best. We would get as many yearlings as we could for our outer clothing. And for a heavy winter, we would get caribou in February or March because the hair was the longest and the skin was the thickest, and we would use those for our winter gear. With that stuff on, you could sleep outside in 50 below and it wouldn't bother you a bit.
niveaksiagarualuk kangersingarok supaya ikayoktiqaqanivlugit allauvluni taamna teriganniaq sivuniqsipkangaga niveaksiagarualuk qanutun peqpaganaqtilaangit tamatkua ikayoktauluat
Silla is the weather. It also means the atmosphere. Here's the Nuna, or the land. And it's anything from the land into the moon, the sun, the stars. That's Silla.
It's a very spiritual, and we have a relationship with Silla. Silla has a soul in the same way we do as people, in the same way animals do.
I think spirit helpers in and of themselves are really about how we're connected with things. And so it may be
My bad, I didn't mean to skip it like that.
It also means the atmosphere. Here's the Nuna, or the land. And it's anything from the land into the moon, the sun, the stars. That's Silla.
It's a very spiritual, and we have a relationship with Silla. Silla has a soul in the same way we do as people, in the same way animals do.
I think spirit helpers in and of themselves are really about how we're connected with things. And so it may be that there is a spirit helper that shows themselves as a bird to show you the way home, or it may be a spirit helper that actually decides to show themselves with the face and body of a man instead of their animal form. And so I think one of the things that's hard to understand is that it's not one way of seeing things, it's one way of knowing you're connected to everything.
We've always had that spirituality of everything around us.
It's the interaction you have with the air you breathe, the ocean that you gather resources from, the rivers from which you gather fish, the tundra from which you pick berries, the animals that give themselves. It's all of that.
niveaksiagarualugulu teriganniagalu ikayuuti piaqtuk siqaqaniurutimigani araa kangersinaaitsoqunni qanuq pisilaangak aglaan tavra atautsikun aingaruk
winter, when we were traveling, we didn't build sod houses, we built snow houses. In Canada, they call them igloo, but here in Alaska, we call them apuyak. We'd do a day of travel, and then we'd make a apuyak. The next day, my father would set traps, spend the day there, rest the dogs, give them something to eat, and then the following day, we continued to the next place. We'd go to my dad's sister, who had a house at Dubarg. They had a small sod house over there. We didn't have to do anything. We just visit with them, and my dad and my sister were glad to see each other, and they'd talk away while us kids played outside or go to sleep. By the time we get back to our home, my father would leave us with our aunt or with my grandmother, and then he'd start on his trips and go check his trap line. We were not into 8 to 5 kind of time, you know. We're in a total different kind. We're in ecological time. In the winter, when we were traveling, we didn't build sod houses, we built snow houses.
Iverksiarluollu tikitka aimarvini. Agalaan maluunaqsingamalaq. Innoquluq tikinngamaluq iverksiarluollu piingaan. Ivahalaqsimaluq sumittaimma. Tikatjakkumangainniqsuq. Paqitqaangaarnagu ivaqtani. Nunaaqqiq ikiwaqtuaqaniqsuq. Inyungi tuquttaqtaaganiqsit. Niveaksiarolo peringit ka tautuk tani. Tautukunak tuak sunapayak sa kuminganeksok. Niveaksiarolo iyuniakatingi bisaw laganeksut. Kano ko niya? Ano ko lakpas kanyam dahil na kumanyait ka? Tama nga ikumawak tuaming kaharak pam inyo liptaktok. Sumalagula kami ni Beaksiarulong titiningan eh. Agalan kaharak pas kanyat sa gabing aitsut. Imenyawrat sa gabing sa mga nunamin. Pagkakahuting nunakemen. Kahit gawin tuting ukalagtok inyugungaru ako ukpik. Kano ko mailisimanek pa nga. Isumulagtok ni Beaksya karualok. Kano kita pura kau nagingagikpen. Kailaw di ka piup ko. Ikayo ko niya kalawikpen kimon dahil nanakek. Sa bakit ilanga?
They're just like other people. They just happen to be very small and extremely strong.
These are stories that are common throughout Alaska. It's normally that people are in a size from your elbow to the tips of your fingers, and they possess superhuman strength. So they may be tiny, but they can carry a whole caribou.
And if you go up north and you talk to a number of the people in the community, they'll talk about having seen the little people.
There's a place at home that we know, but we don't profess it to anybody.
But it's not like the boogeyman.
They can be mischievous, they can be ornery, or they can be helpers.
And every now and then, we might have the opportunity to see them, especially if they want us to see them.
The fact that it's across Alaska really tells you something about our history and how we interacted with nature around us.
Kaya rarak tuat iverksero lo buskakikke. Asi anibliting suna itukto sa urugo magat. Ibeaksiagarolo sabat ko may akalawit imaynaurat. Bakit ka upiyong kailaw nga? Ibeaksiagarolo kutingarok kilaw delegahone. Ukpik ko bea chapalugarok. Asita pura pibir tagaliw di bea lagaga ibeaksiagarolo. Tayo nahone ay chudi hirakangarok. Ukpik ukalagtok. Uvaw na kao nagingagiga iliginun pikit kublugo. Tabratainna igilehutik. Ibeaksiarualum atoka uppium aichuta. sila tanet nunakingata inyukuluk kasuwag. Inyukulung taudu kami nutkakawa. Agalan ni Beak siyakarwaluk sa pekinyaksimalak. Kinalip sa Beak taudu kami kilometer. Dabra ibak. Kinalip sa Beak taudu kami kilometer. Dabra ibak tani taudu kay. Annap khaslik kalwaktuk agalan igilaw ningam sa kakanaksisinyak. Malako ko ni ubulo ko ni isa ublutik. Dabra tuwakaroa mo tikitsyok. Agalan tuwabit pagabitsyok. Siko nalunak tok hanok igilakaniyak silanga. Pisasa ko may akalugon nanok, anak kubit. Pinyatita ka bicho. Kakame nanok, dikat chalaitcho.
The scaredest I've ever been, I was 12 years old. We floated out on a piece of ice while we were duck hunting. It was a bluebird day, just clear blue skies. And there was 3 of us, myself, my brother, and my dad. Next thing you know, we see this dark shadow on the ice. We look and it goes behind us. So we all jumped up, startled, and my dad, he started running. We got back to the ridge there. The ice had fractured, cracked, and broke off, and we were floating away. We were drifting. It was close enough to where my dad would have made it. He stopped and he thought about throwing us across, and if one of us was on the other side, we would be split up. So he stopped, and he just so happened to have a cell phone on him. 911 didn't pick up. That's the worst feeling in the world right there. 911 did not pick up. So he left a message because they record their calls. Once he had relayed that information, his cell phone died. That was the scariest moment I've ever had in my life. We were floating away and I thought we were left for dead. He kept calm during this situation. He's bringing out everything positive in this case. You know, I'm crying, my brother's freaking out. It went from clear blue to dense fog. Within a couple hours, we heard the chopper flying around, so they must have gotten our message. We thought we were saved, and then the chopper sound went away. So we lit some of the sled on fire. It's plastic. We thought black smoke in the fog would create some kind of marker. Chopper pilot had mentioned when we got rescued, you could see a glow in the fog, and he slowed down there, and sure enough, as soon as he slowed down, we got within visual. That was definitely the scariest moment of my life, was floating away and not knowing what the outcome was going to be.
Alright guys, I'm gonna end part 1 here, but thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think so far this is a great game. But if you enjoyed, please do subscribe and like this video. I'm gonna be putting out part 2 tomorrow, or hopefully the next day. But yeah, thanks for watching guys. Take it easy.